Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. I call the Economic Development Authority meeting to order. First item of business is the roll call. We do have 4 members present, which is a quorum. Item 2.1 is the EDA February 11th, 2025 minutes.
I didn't see any issues with the minutes, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.1, administrative activities for February 2025.
All right, thank you, Madam President, Commissioners. I do have several items to discuss with you this month on the report. Note under the Section 8 report, we did meet with HUD representatives to discuss the vouchers for the Linderhof Park apartments. So the management company is opting out of their project-based Section 8 contract, which will expire on April 30th. So HUD approved 56 enhanced vouchers for the EDA to administer to the tenants residing there. And staff has started working with those tenants on completing the necessary paperwork and unit inspections, and so far that's going well. The tenants who are currently assisted will switch to our vouchers effective May 1st, and there are some tenants there who are not currently assisted, but they will have 3 years to use their voucher beginning May 1st if they should become income eligible during those 3 years. So there is a voucher there for them should they need it. If they don't use it in 3 years, then it will just become a regular voucher available to anyone who applies. So that is moving along, so I wanted to update you on that. And then note under the public housing program, staff held the required resident advisory board meetings with program participants. Possible capital fund projects for the next year or two include replacing common area flooring, seal coating the parking lot, and adding a storage shed at Broadway House Apartments, and then window replacement and adding some additional attic insulation at the scattered site family units. These were recommended in the capital needs assessment that we had done by the Southwest Minnesota Housing Partnership in 2023, with the exception of the storage shed. That is something that has become necessary due to the loss of storage space at the garage at the house at the 320 North Broadway that was moved last summer. We did buy a storage shed at Menards this fall, and we thought that was going to meet our needs, and it just got completely blown apart in the windstorm about a week ago. And so we decided that isn't going to meet our needs. We're going to need to build a more permanent structure. So we're going to actually have a carpenter come and build us a storage shed that hopefully will stand the test of time. Note under the EDA report, we are ready to go to close on the 3 EDA lots on North Broadway. We're just waiting for the buyers to set a closing date. We were hoping that was going to happen sooner than later, but we are still waiting. Note under the Home Buyer Assistance Loan Program, one loan closed in the amount of $7,911 and 2 applications were received. The loan that closed was actually for the house that we moved. It was for the renters that are now homeowners. So we're happy to see them get into homeownership. Note under the Get It Ready Loan Program, 1 application was received. Note under the Multifamily Rental Rehab Loan Program, 1 application was received. So at the beginning of the year, we tend to be busy with those applications coming in when we fund those programs. So, and then under the Garden Terrace report, note that Rebound Partners has made great progress in their talks with Oak Hills. They have now agreed on a preliminary design for a senior housing project on the vacant lot for 30 to 41 and 2-bedroom units. We have set a closing date of March 31st. I'll remind you that during the negotiations and the purchase agreement, the EDA agreed to invest $1.5 million to the project of the new building. Chris and I met with representatives from Rebound Partners last week, and we agreed to pay half of that when they submit plans to the city for review, and the other half will be paid when they apply for the building permit. The reason for that is they are taking out a construction loan, and they need that money to get the financing they need to move forward. So that was agreeable on both sides. So that's the agreement we came up with. And then in the future, once the Garden Terrace property and this new building are sold, Oak Hills will have the first right of refusal. And at that time, the EDA will be repaid our initial investment of $1.5 million plus the projected annual return of 7 to 9% over however many years it is until the properties are sold. It could be 5 years, it could be 7 years, it could be a little longer depending on when Oak Hills is in a position to purchase those properties. So, like I said, it was a busy, a lot of activity going on. I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
The only question I might have would be on the closing of those 3 lots. Was that just, we don't know anything about that?
Honestly, City Manager, Executive Director Chris Dalton's been the one working with them. So, I mean, he's told me we've sent them everything on our end. So it's the ball's in their court, and we're just, I think they want to start construction this spring or summer. So it should be happening in the next month or so, hopefully. I don't think he really knows any more than I do. We're just waiting for them.
I don't have a question, but my comment is I'm really pleased to see that we're moving forward with that, finalizing the sale of Garden Terrace, and that Oak Hills is, they've been able to come to some kind of agreement, I understand, with what that future improvement or building would look like. So kudos to all of those who worked on the project.
One comment for the board. I don't know if any of you have seen, we were at a meeting 2 weeks ago, that there is actually an architect rendering of what those units would look like and the layout of the plan. Is it on our website or not? Or
No, I can send that. If you would like, I can
want to
send
see
that.
what it looks like and what the proposal was. Very interesting. Nice project.
Yeah, I think the community will like that as well, to see.
If there's no other discussion, I'll motion to accept the Economic Development Authority administrative activities for the month of February 2025.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4.1, utility allowance schedules for Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program.
This is an item we review on an annual basis. The Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program provides rental assistance to low-income households. Participants of the program pay approximately 30% of their adjusted monthly income toward their rent and utility costs, and the New Ulm EDA pays the remaining portion directly to their landlord. The utility allowance schedule is an estimate of what the household would pay for their utilities based on the bedroom size of the unit, the type of unit. So there's apartment, duplex, single-family home, and mobile home are the 4 types. And the locations are New Ulm, Sleepy Eye, Springfield, and then we have a Brown County utility allowance that we use for any other community in the county, such as Hanska, Searles, or if they're in a rural area. HUD requires that we review these on an annual basis and adjust them based on current utility rates, weather adjustment factors, and other pertinent information that affect the cost of utilities. New schedules have been prepared to reflect these changes. Overall, they have remained fairly flat compared to the 2024 rates. New Ulm saw small increases in electric, water, sewer, and garbage rates. Springfield had small increases in electric and garbage rates. There also was a small increase in natural gas rates for Sleepy Eye Springfield in the rural areas, a small increase in LP rates, and a small decrease in oil rates for all communities. So, utility rates are a commodity that the rates do fluctuate. So I've attached the utility allowances for the 4 communities for your review. But like I say, they didn't change a whole lot one way or the other, and it overall shouldn't affect our program in any major way. The new rates would be effective May 1st, 2025. End of report.
I reviewed it. Didn't look like there were many changes, as you already said with your report.
I'll make a motion to approve the revised utility allowance schedules for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program effective May 1st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, did you have a comment?
I had a question. It has a category for mobile homes. How many mobile homes does the New Ulm Economic Development Authority manage or have?
I don't think there's anyone. Oh, no, I take that back. I think we have one in New Ulm renting in a mobile home at this time.
Okay.
It's not common. Most our apartments are single-family homes. We have a few duplexes and the occasional mobile home.
Thank you.
Item 5.1, EDA March 11th, 2025 claims list.
I'll just note we did replace a furnace in one of our family units. We could have repaired it, but the cost of repair was about, I don't know, a third or a half the cost of replacement, and it was 25 years old, so we went ahead and replaced it rather than continue to repair.
The family is happy to not have it continually go out.
Yes.
I'll motion to approve the EDA March 11th, 2025 claims list as submitted.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6.1, draft PHA 5-year plan for fiscal year 2025.
All right, we talked about this last month when we set the public hearing. We will come to you with the final plan. Next month, we'll hold the public hearing and approve the final 5-year plan at that time. So at this time, we've prepared the draft. We've had our resident advisory board meetings that are required, and we have laid out our goals that have been met during year 5 of the current 5-year plan. So you can see in 2024 the items that that were accomplished. It's in the report, so I don't feel the need to read those all for you. You can review them and ask any questions you may have. So at this point, we're just receiving the draft.
I'll make a motion to receive the draft for the public housing 5-year plan for the fiscal year of 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7.1 is the Milford Heights Architectural Review Committee membership. We will table this until the next meeting when we have more commissioners present. Item 8.1, Economic Development Activity Report.
All right. So during the month of February, the New Ulm Partnership met and had a good discussion on Newbrick's tiny home project. as well as a potential application for My Town Series 3. I don't know if we've had any discussions about the My Town series. There is a gentleman named Corey Heppola that has created this My Town series. It airs on YouTube and Facebook, but it does have a lot of views. That we've been kind of watching and following along since season 1. Corey is from Purim, Minnesota. And like a lot of young people that grew up in a small rural community, his dream was to move to the big city, which he did. And he was a broadcaster on KARE 11 News for many years. And then he got married, started having kids, and decided to move back to Purim for the quality of life that the small rural communities provide for families with young children. And Purim is one of the first communities that was featured in this series. And so the first season featured 7 communities. Season 2 is being filmed right now, and those episodes will be coming out. I can't remember all 8 of them, but I know Fairmont is participating in season 2. And so we are considering applying and putting our name in the hat for season 3. They're taking applications now, and the deadline to apply is October 1st. There is a cost to participate of about $30,000. And so we at the partnership are talking about who could we partner with on this, who might want to help sponsor an episode and help share the cost. That's what some of the other communities have done. In fact, I reached out to the Fairmont EDA, and they did a 3-way split between the EDA, their what would be equivalent to our CVB, and their school district. Other communities have been able to get private sponsors from businesses in their community. So, there isn't one way to do it, but so we're having serious conversations on how we might get some cost sharing for our potential application. So keep that on your radar, and we'll keep you updated. Child care team, we have finalized the sessions for our annual provider training event that will be held in April, and registration is open. We have just over 40 providers already registered. The registration deadline is the 25th of this month, so that the numbers will fluctuate a little bit. And we've decided to start meeting quarterly. We just don't have enough going on right now to meet monthly. So you'll start getting quarterly reports on that team. No activity in the commercial property rehab loan program. We received 1 application for a small business loan. Other than that, city staff met with a franchisee who's looking for property to expand their franchise into New Ulm. I met with a representative from Front Burner Sports who's working with Park and Rec on, what would you call that, Dave, sponsorships for Park and Rec buildings.
Oh, geez, what would you call that? Naming rights, advertisement?
Yeah, it'll bring in revenue to Park and Rec, and they just wanted to talk to me about who I thought they might approach as far as businesses in our community. And we met with representatives from Markets Construction who are interested in, potential projects in New Ulm, and completed my annual employee performance reviews. So, end of report.
Any questions for Heather?
I do not. I'll make a motion to accept the Economic Development Activity Report for February of 2025.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There being no further items on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned.
Very good.